I'm talking about the sustainable issue around Eastern and West, which I'm from. So the issues about the, I want to probably introduce a bit myself. I'm original from Taiwan and study in the US and also doing a lot of things around Asia, and right now living in the Britain, and right now, blah, blah, blah. And then, so I'm talking about the issue for more into my heart, which is how we can bring the world a bit different angle to look at it into the East, because right now a lot of issue we are talking about is how we can grow things together. So when we talk about big pictures, a lot of things, the East and West use totally different angles and totally different perspective. The German, they look, the Western look themselves more bigger, and the Eastern look ourselves in the group, the smaller. And the way we communicate is quite different. The Western is really just want to make the point. And then in the Eastern, sometimes people say yes means no. When you want to get the right answer, sometimes you take much further than you thought. And then we talk about the transportation and the environmental issue. We can see the difference between transportation in the 1970s. The people is driving a car and become the bike. And right now, the whole China turned their bike into the car. And that means a big challenge for the world. And also, if we look at the different meaning of different words, and when we talk about the green issue, they are talking about how we make green money together. You talk about the CSR. In that part of the world, people just talk about, oh, I know, because we plant a tree, we contribute something to the school, but that's the PR for them. When we talk about reality of Asia, you have to look at the big picture, because there's north and south. The rich part of China and also poor part of China, the Asia is quite different. So we look at a lot of the rich generations start to come into the world, and the really challenge for Asia is the big populations, and compared to the relative still very small ecological footprint at the moment. But that will be changed because the people continue growth. And the challenging one, you look at the natural difference. A lot of the knowledge and also understanding of environmental issue is based on Europe. But you look at the less earthquake and also the biggest the challenge on landscape and the nature. So how we get that part of the world to actually understand the sustainable issue is quite a big challenge. There's a big growth in China in the last 10, 20 years, already continue growth 7 to 9% each year. And then at the same time, they use 10% of energy. And then we can see the big power shift, that's from political and the economic power, shift to Asia. Not only China and India, all Asia, all together is become growth important. So the central part of the world being shifted to Asia. And there's one English boy, Jonathan Walsh, used to pray for the Chinese don't jump at the same time, because when he was young, his parents told him if all Chinese jump at the same time, will shake the whole earth off, and then kills us all. But it happened because if only just 20% of the Chinese middle class will use a lot of natural resources. They go into Africa big time, resources including oil, diamond, gold. They start to have the big power around the world. But at the same time, the Chinese speak the things differently. They say, okay, we do have the crisis, but we also can provide some of the opportunity behind those big resource and the environmental crises which we face in the humankind. So Chinese government or Chinese people start to think, maybe we can do something different because they already suffer so much on the pollution. In the past decades, the 16 out of the most polluted city 60 out of 20 is in China, in the world, and the 200 million people, 200 cities being raised, the most polluted city on Earth. 90% of the river was heavily polluted. And so the world faced the issue as the same as Chinese people. So how we can transfer the golden China become to a green dragon. So that's the issue we face, and also how we help them to change the mentality. They actually speed up very quickly on renewable energy. They are already #1 on wind power, #1 in solar power. Probably a lot of the big German and American solar power already been kicked out of the market because Chinese push hard on renewable. But for the Chinese government, the leader, they play the two phases. One is they never want to commit anything until they are ready. Technology sense, also the capacity. But on the other hand, the Chinese people, they want to set up their own standard. They want everybody, if you want to use UK or US standard, it doesn't work there. You have to respect what the people in there, how they think, how they want to set up their own rule. So we have to rethink about how we how we use the strategy more carefully to help that part of the world become more sustainable.